Hello everyone. So today we'll be talking about how Indian Premier League actually makes money. And especially I'm talking about the teams, how BCCI makes money out of Indian Premier League, and how a particular team earns money from Indian Premier League. So as you all know, that there are 8 teams in Indian Premier League. So now the 60% or 70% of the revenue comes from media rights. So now you must be confused what media rights is. So what media rights is basically, it is a liberty which is being given to a channel that yes, this is my content and this content has to be visible only on this platform. Like if you look at IPL, from if you monitor IPL, if you have been monitoring IPL from the last 2-3 years, you must have seen IPL is being played on Star. And initially, for 10 years, IPL was coming on Sony. So the channel itself mattered. Like which channel has vouched for it and which channel has paid more money for it. As far as broadcasting rights are concerned, there's so many channels, there's so many platforms, right? So more money you bet for, you end up getting the deal for as far as media rights are concerned. So you get a media rights to broadcast the entire Indian Premier League into your platform, on your platform, on different ventures. Like if you talk about Star getting the media rights for Indian Premier League, so Star plays the entire video, the entire footage of Indian Premier League on Star Sports. It promotes the promos and everything on Star Plus, and Star has got a lot of other regional channels as well. So they play their teasers and promos everywhere on each and every platform. So there is this one entity called Star Sports where the entire match comes at evening 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, but the entire marketing is being done from the different arms of Stars. That also includes a OTT platform called Hotstar. Hotstar belongs to Star. So there is a younger section of in this country, basically the youth, who are actually more glued towards internet, and majority of the students, majority of the younger section of this country, they do not stay with the parents. Either they are there in the hostel, either they are there in the college, and majority of the Indians, they don't have, especially the students, they don't have TVs at the home, especially where these guys are staying in a PG or something. So the only option left for them is to watch a Indian Premier League match in Hotstar, via Hotstar. So that's the only platform. So the digital also serves a great purpose as far as the broadcasting of Indian Premier League is concerned. So the 60% and 70% of the revenue for a team and for Indian Premier League comes from the broadcasting rights, which we also call media rights. Secondly, now let's talk about the numbers. As far as numbers are concerned, uh, if you talk about 2008, so when IPL started in 2008, so at that point of time, 8200 rupees, 82, I'm sorry with the figures, 8200 crore rupees was the amount which was actually paid to BCCI from Setmax, sorry, from this entire Sony group overall. So 8200 crore rupees, which means per year these guys were paying 820 crore rupees to the BCCI just to be the broadcast partner for Indian Premier League. But now this year, in 2008, if you look at when there was a change in the command, when it shifted, when it actually graduated from Sony to Star, the overall, the money, as far as the amount is concerned, the overall amount almost doubled. In for 2008 till 2018, the amount was, sorry, it's 2017. So from 2008 till 2017, max, Sony actually paid them 8200 crore rupees. But now when Star came on board, so for 10 years they paid 8200 crore rupees. But when Star came on board, for 5 years they paid 16,347 crore rupees approx just to be the media partner. So here you can well imagine that they have simply doubled the amount. It's more than double, in fact. Imagine 8200 crore rupees. Getting double to 16,300 something crore rupees. Just look at the numbers. It's more than double, in fact, and that too for 5 years. So if you start calculating, the revenue of the entire years, the amount which is being paid to BCCI for entire year, this is 3269 crore rupees. This is 3269 crore rupees which is being paid by Star to BCCI per year. So initially for last 10 years they were paying only 820 crore rupees, and now it is 3200 3269 crore rupees. This is almost four times the money which these guys were paying, till last 10 years. So 60% or 70% of the revenue comes from the media rights, which actually serves a great purpose over there. Secondly, now 60% of the revenue is being kept by BCCI in the pocket, and the rest 40% of the revenue is being distributed amongst the different teams. So if there is 3,269 crore rupees, let's assume it as it as 3,269 crore rupees, or we can call it say 3,300 crore rupees. So that 3,300 crore rupees is being divided in all the 8 teams which is actually playing in the Indian Premier League. So even if you're not a great team, you are making money out of it, because majority of your money is actually being divided. Actually is as far as money is concerned, they don't see at which number you guys were placed last year. If where you guys at the bottom doing horrible in Indian Premier League, or if you were the champions, the money which is going to be distributed, that's going to be equally distributed amongst each and every one. Now secondly, let's come to the title sponsor of Indian Premier League. As I said in my previous video, that Vivo ended up paying a lot of money, for just to be a title sponsor. So Vivo ended up paying 2199 crore rupees. So again here, almost 60% of the money is being kept by BCCI, and the rest of the money is being distributed to all the team members. To all the different teams, including 8 teams over there. So that's the major chunk of money, what the teams get from these kind of rights by just selling their rights. So automatically none of the teams actually runs in losses. So till 2017 there was only problem, there were a lot of teams which are actually running in losses. So they actually revamped the entire process, and just to make the league going, and just to make this entire IPL body profitable, and the entire team's profitable, because this entire league has to last. This entire league has to do well in order, and in that order each and every team actually needs to earn money, even if they are performing horrible in the entire season. Right now, third, a source of revenue for Indian Premier League for a particular team also comes from a particular stadium. For example, if you take an example of Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. So if you take an example of Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, imagine a one single ticket is costing you 1,000 rupees, and there are say 50,000 people attending the entire match. So if you calculate 50,000 into 1,000, that makes 5 crore rupees per match. So 5 crore rupees, a chunk of the amount goes to Mumbai Cricket Association, who are actually responsible for actually maintaining the entire ground, checking the quality of the pitch, and paying the salary to the ground staff and all. And so these kind of money is being paid to the Mumbai Cricket Association if the match is in Mumbai, and the rest of the money is again being divided between 2 teams who are actually playing that day in Mumbai, as far as their match is concerned. So that's the second source of revenue. Third, if you look at the title sponsors but I'm not talking about just don't get confused. I'm not talking about the Indian Premier League. I'm talking about the title sponsor of a one single team. If you look at Mumbai Indians, jersey, so there they have mentioned Samsung's logo over here. So if you look at Samsung itself has paid 75 crore rupees to Mumbai Indians for 3 years, which means 25 crore rupees per year. The reason why they have paid 25 crore rupees per year just to be a title sponsor, because Mumbai Indians is a great team, and they have played fantastic last IPL season. So teams like Mumbai Indians, teams like Chennai Super Kings, this is not a big team for these kind of teams. Not a big deal for these kind of teams to actually go out and vouch for sort of the sponsors, because every sponsor in the market is ready to put their money to the successful team. For that matter, it may be difficult for Kings 11 Punjab to go out in the market and get money from sponsors' pocket, because this particular team, Kings 11 Punjab, they have horribly performed from last 10 years in the Indian Premier League. They haven't done great. So if you talk about Kings 11 Punjab, this year it was even difficult for them to get a single sponsor on board, especially on chest. These guys had even decided to play without a sponsor in the Indian Premier League. So somehow, somewhere down the line, they convinced Aastak, and Aastak ended up sponsoring them on the chest, which is they became a title sponsor. So the teams basically, they generate revenue by getting a title sponsor on board, which is actually on chest. They even generate sponsorship by getting different logos placed on, a player's chest over here. They even put logos over here. They put logos at the back. They put logos over here below, below the jersey number. So these are the areas where actually they do the logo placement, and this is how actually these guys earn money. Third source of revenue for these kind of team is they sign a lot of contracts with different kind of brands, like Kings 11 Punjab. It's very difficult for them to go out and get a brand on board. But teams like Royal Challengers Bangalore, who haven't done great in Indian Premier League, but having said that, they have got marquee players in the team like Virat Kohli. So if you have got Virat Kohli on board, they partnered with Domino's, and they came up with an ad and they generated money out of it. So especially if you talk about teams, so if you have got a marquee player in your team, so even if your team is not doing that great, and if you have got a marquee, well-known players in your team, it's not a big deal for you to get a sponsor on board, right? So even if you're not making money by doing great in cricket match, you will definitely end up getting something on the brand side of it from the market, and you would find a lot of partners who would actually come on board and do a partnership with you and do a brand agreement with you guys. So that's a third source of revenue. The fourth source of revenue for the Indian Premier League is by actually getting brand ambassadors on board. So when the brand ambassador comes on board, so they obviously charge money out of it, but the team's traction becomes more, and you end up indulging in a lot of marketing activities. So that's how you actually get the money out of it. Third, there is a venture called, you end up generating money by selling your merchandise business. So when it comes to merchandising business, I mean, you must have seen people wearing KKR's jersey, people wearing KKR's cap, people wearing Mumbai Indians jersey, people wearing Mumbai Indians trousers. So over there, what happens is people actually go and end up buying T-shirts, the caps, of that particular team to whom they feel like supporting it. So that's called merchandising business. So the IPL teams even end up getting a lot of revenue out of it. So that's the fourth source. And the fifth source, the most important, is the prize money. A champion team gets 20 crore rupees. A chunk of money goes to the VCs. A chunk of money, actually, I'm sorry, it doesn't go to VCs here. A chunk of money goes to the management, and rest of the money, management as in the team management, and rest of the money gets distributed the in between the players. So yeah, this is how a team actually makes money. So post 2018, I mean, none of the teams are actually running losses. They're actually making a great money, and trust me, this is the only brand called IPL where there's no religions being followed. I mean, people starting from the age group of 7 to age group of 70, people do stick to television for 45 days, and just imagine a property called Indian Premier League, where you have such a great traction, and how people are glued to Indian Premier League, during the summer season. And as far as timing is concerned, I mean, they do play IPL at a great timing. I mean, just look at the timing, and board exams are over, and there's a summer break, and people love to watch IPL at that point of time. So this is how a team basically ends up earning money. And trust me, just don't go by fake reports. None of the teams are actually running losses. They're actually making a great amount of money out of it. Yeah. Thank you. I hope this helped. I hope it helps. Thank you.